Welcome to the Cat Nelson Show. I'm the one and only Cat Nelson, MMA fighter out of Orlando, Florida. You can join me on my journey to becoming the baddest bantamweight fighter in the world by following me on social at CatNoy11. This episode is brought to you by Black Lab Organics, all natural and organic dog treats. Our goal at Black Lab Organics is to create CBD-infused dog treats with real ingredients, because we believe that dogs deserve better. Follow us on social at Black Lab Organics or visit our website, blacklaborganics.com. Use discount code CAT10 to get 10% off your next order. Crazy about fights? The Fight Bananas podcast is all fight news and everything fight related. Follow them on social at Fight Bananas Official. You can also tune in on YouTube, all podcast platforms, and iHeartRadio. I train about 5 to 6 days a week, and as a fighter, I understand the importance of recovery. Fusion CBD products always has my back. I use their CBD oil every morning in my coffee and their CBD balms after trainings and before bed. And just like that, I feel brand new, ready to take on the next day. Follow them on social at Fusion CBD Products or visit their site fusioncbdproducts.com. New Dimensions Wellness Studio is a premium health, wellness, and performance center that combines cutting-edge technology with ancient wisdom. Every visit I make to New Dimensions, I leave feeling like a brand new woman. Whether you're an athlete that wants to excel in performance, undergoing rehab from an injury, or just want to take care of yourself, they will guide you to all your needs. Follow them on social at nd_wellness or visit their site mynewdimension.com. Just Blaze Clothing is South Florida's #1 source of clothing for the cannabis community. They sell all types of apparel, accessories, and rolling trays, perfect for any stoner dude or stoner babe. Check them out on social at Just Blaze Clothing or on their website justblazeclothing.com. Use discount code CAT10 to get 10% off your next order. The law offices of Daniel Martinez has got your back. Daniel Martinez is a criminal defense attorney who fights in court and in the cage. Shut up and lawyer up with the law offices of Daniel Martinez. Follow them on social at martinez.law.321 or their website martinez.law. Never stop, never quit. Support local fighters with Team Reaper. Team Reaper creates personal fight apparel just so fighters can make profit. I have my own fight apparel you can purchase on the website reaper1.co. You can also follow them on social at Team Reaper1. By purchasing my shirt, you will not only be supporting me, you will also be supporting this podcast, other fighters, and Rue Camp Champs, a youth crime prevention organization in my hometown, Orlando, Florida. Rue Camp Champs' mission is to get youth off of the streets and teach them martial arts. You can also donate to Rue Camp Champs at kidsmma.org.
And the hemoglobin.
Oh, big shot, spinning back fist, right hand. And
that's
is all.
Wow.
Wrote. That's a wrap, son. Cat.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Cat Nelson Show. Today, I am joined by porn star Shelby Koren. How are you doing, Shelby?
Good. You're coming in like really, I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is it better? Or no? No?
Kind of.
Here.
It's coming in through blips.
Okay.
It's like choppy.
Testing. What's that?
I'm gonna get off my Wi-Fi and see if it's better.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Shelby Koren, everybody. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So Shelby, you are a Combat Night OG. You just recently made your pro debut for Invicta FC. Before we start talking a little bit about you and your fight journey, how was it fighting March 2020 during the start of the pandemic? How was that experience?
So I was the only female fight of the night, March 1st, 2020. So it was weird because I've always been used to coming out with like a big crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I felt like I was a part of something special because it's a law. There's nobody there. You could hear everything.
Right.
Usually when there's a big crowd, it kind of like calms me down a little bit more because there's not a lot of what's the word, attention on one thing because it's coming from all different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I was on March 21st, it was quiet. Like you could hear every time I landed. When I was warming up, you could feel more pressure because there wasn't people partying and
Right.
talking and hanging out. It was a very highly intense situation.
Right. Yeah. And you're right. Like, you definitely were a part of history. Like, I think you guys were the only people fighting, like, streamed during that time. So that's pretty cool. And now, like, we're starting to get back into more of like a crowd type. It's like limited, but we have a crowd back now. So you were an undefeated amateur. You were the Combat Night strawweight champ. You've been training for about 5 years or so, right?
My MMA debut was in 2018, and it was the end
Okay.
of 2018. I've only been competing for 2 years.
Okay, nice.
I tore my ACL right as I started, so I was out for about a year and a half. So I've been training a total of about, I would say, 3.5 years.
Okay, so yeah, so you're undefeated. You've been an undefeated amateur. You were the champ, strawweight champ. What made you guys and you and your coaches make that step to go pro? Because that's a huge step. It's exciting and congratulations on that. But what were your guys' like thoughts into making your pro debut?
My thoughts on it were I had never let it go before I was offered the contract. There was a lot of girls that didn't want to fight me, and there was not much left at the regional scene.
Okay.
So I was to take next. I was offered a really good contract, so I took an opportunity that was given to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of females fighting, and that just limits our competition. So sometimes we need to take that step to the next level, and I think you're doing great. Why did you start training MMA? What was your like purpose? What drove you to start training?
It's just where I feel comfortable. I've always been, a very active person. I'm not very domesticated.
Mhm.
I'm wild. I like to street fight. I like to just have all this energy, and I just gotta get it out.
Right.
And whenever I'm on the mats and I'm wrestling with people and I'm like sparring and kickboxing, so that's my moment. I'm not a 9 to 5er. I can't sit down.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's really it. That I feel limited.
It definitely like training definitely helps with like channeling all the like energy and kind of bad juju in my life and just take it out on the mats for sure.
I
Um,
have to, yeah. I have a choice. In my head, like
yeah,
I don't have a choice. I have to do it. Type thing. Otherwise, that's what divided on it.
right, right. And you've been an athlete and a competitor, um, even before you started MMA with weightlifting, correct? Was it hard leaving weightlifting behind, or was it one of the best decisions you ever made?
Weightlifting gave me a regular structure. I actually started weightlifting when I was 12 years old.
Mhm.
So I've been competing since I was a kid, and it gave me a good structure, and it taught me discipline and showed me that I can kind of sculpt myself into whatever I want to be, as long as I
Right.
just stick to something. And I was not studying as a kid. I was horrible at school. and I wasn't really good at anything until I joined weightlifting because my sister was track and she had to get a ride home. So I would go out there and he goes, well, you should start lifting. And I started and I did that up until I was 19 years old. And then 2016, I finally was like, I'm done with this because I got to the level where I saw that I felt like it was a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that it seemed like they were farming athletes to the Olympics. I saw a lot of athletes that were going to the Olympics,
Gotcha.
and then when they were done, they kind of there was not a lot of
Right.
opportunities. A lot of these athletes that are going to the Olympics, they're ending up having to go to college after, and I just knew that that wasn't going to be me. And I
Right.
MMA, and I like MMA better because there's a lot less ego involved. I mean, there still is ego involved. Don't get me wrong. We all
Yeah.
have a little bit of ego.
Yeah. But
And
you can get humbled so quickly.
yes, yes. I felt
Yeah.
like I loved the order. Whenever I walked into a gym, I loved how if someone wasn't being nice, if someone was being rude, if someone was being, you know, not being nice, that someone who was a black belt or someone who was higher up at the gym was taking care of that. And
Right.
I had the ego. I was lifting for a while. I was getting really good at my craft. And then to start from ground zero and have to be you have to really let your ego go and kind of start from the ground up learning a trade. And it's hard because, especially being a woman, when I first started, nobody respected me. I was a big laughing stock when I first started.
Right.
So
Yeah.
after being respected and weightlifting for so long, and then you switch over and nobody's respecting you, and you kind of have to uh, put on blinders and just not, what's the word, read into what they're saying.
Right. So is that something that kind of keeps you interested in martial arts and keeps you like passionate about it, is having to continuously like challenge yourself like that?
Yes. And also, I love martial arts because I've always been strong, but I like martial arts because I have somebody really small to me. And then I'm like, whoa. Like, it starts picking my brain. I'm like, this is a lot of angles. This is a lot of
Mhm.
leverage. This is not just brute strength. Like, you have to be really smart when you go in there. And I like how it's a chess match. Weightlifting, I love it. And there's a lot of details to it. But when you go to the same thing every single day, there's not really
It's the same thing
details
every day.
variable. Yeah, then it gets kind of boring after all. I like doing fighting because I try to make these run and your style. And then I kind of have to pick my brain and try to diffuse whatever style you're trying to put on me. Versus these
Right.
different every just like that better.
Right, right. So I want to talk a little bit about your jiu-jitsu because the first time I actually saw you fight was at a combat night. I think it was like the May the 4th be with you one. And you finished your opponent like ground and pound, you were on top. Your last amateur fight in March, you finished with a rear naked choke. And then your pro debut there was a lot of grappling exchanges, a lot of jujitsu. I know you come from a 10th Planet background, and you guys have like your own jujitsu lingo and your own names. So, what else makes your 10th Planet jujitsu style different from like other traditional like BJJ?
Um, well, I and I'm like taking a little bit from here, taking a little bit from here.
Right,
I try to just learn what I can, and honestly, martial arts is not what other people do. I want to
right.
learn this. I love Marcelo Garcia. I love Ryan Hall. I watch videos all day long. It's really just I'm a visual person. I'll watch it, and then when I go out there, I just try to do stuff. I will say that I have more of a flashy kind of risky. I do a lot of crazy stuff out
Yeah, well,
there.
you're very like creative though, and I feel like that's a great like thing to have, especially in martial arts.
I feel like I'm an artist. I don't
Right,
go
right.
out there and try to force anything. I know that you read a lot of Bruce Lee stuff and listen to that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, and I'm the same way. I don't go out there and force anything. I go out there and I flow, and I trust my coaches and I trust myself to pull the trigger when I need to. So
right,
I guess when people say, "Oh, you're so creative," I'm just being myself. You know,
right,
I don't know. I don't
right,
even know what I'm doing half the time.
right.
People are
Like
like,
that's
"How'd you
what
do that?" I'm like, I don't even know.
exactly. Yeah, no, that's what like he emphasizes is just being in a state of flow. The most important thing is
Mhm.
like your spirituality and your mind. Like you want to go into a fight and not have a plan. Like the plan is to, attack your opponent, obviously, but no specific plan, just to get the job done. So,
Mhm.
I want to ask how important you think like rest and recovery is.
Huh. Well, I'm not. I'm still learning myself about rest and recovery because I'm a workhorse and I can work all day long.
Right.
I'll do 3 trainings a day, 4 trainings a
Yeah.
day, and I'll be watching videos and I'll go to the gym. I'll come home and I'll train again. And I'm a workhorse, but I don't know the opposite end, which is the balance end of resting and relaxing. I think it's extremely important.
Right.
There's days where I have to mentally check out. I'm
Mhm.
serious. There's days where usually my body says we can't do it today.
Yeah.
I
Take a
literally
break.
can't get out of bed, or I can't focus because my body needs to rest. Then I'll go do something to get my mind off of martial arts. I'll do something different, like go to the beach or hang out with my friends or my sister or something. But I think it's very important because anything in life you do too much of,
Mhm.
obviously, it's bad for you. It's kind of like a bell curve type thing. I've definitely overtrained myself to the point where I go out there and my body just feels so broken down that
Right.
it's almost like I hurt myself more than I help myself. There's
Mhm.
also been times where I maybe am such a perfectionist
Mhm.
and I'm so hard on myself. I've never been someone who's cared about other people critiquing me. I could care less what anybody thinks. I
Yeah.
am a huge critic of myself because I want to be a great person and I want to hold myself to a high standard. So sometimes I
Mhm.
get in my own head. You kind of psych yourself out when you force something or you're not nice to yourself or you're not being patient or compassionate with yourself and you need to go do this workout, you need to go do that. And that also hurts
Mhm.
me as well. So
Right.
luckily, I'm getting a hang of it. I'm just evolving as I go, and I'm realizing that a lot of these high up people in the martial arts community and athletes are doing a lot of technique, and they're
Mhm.
being extremely careful of who they train with, who their partners are, and when
Mhm.
they need to be sparring, because that's just longevity. So I
Right.
think it's super important.
Yeah, longevity is extremely important, especially in a combat sport where it's kind of like, you have a team, but it's really like a lonely sport. It's just you in the cage at the end of the night.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think like for rest and recovery, I feel like not only is it good for your physique, but it's also good for your mental, like you said. Like you just gotta check out sometimes.
Mhm.
I know that you are pro cannabis, and
Mhm.
yeah, so I want to ask you like how has that helped you like with um, kind of like easing pain and or any other type of benefits for you?
Yeah. I am pro weed all the way. I
Right,
think that everyone is different. I absolutely hate the pharmaceutical industry right now. I'm not
right.
saying that Obviously, there's people out there that absolutely need medication and need it to be prescribed, but I definitely think that there's a lot of pill mills, and they're just kind of, hey, here's a piece of paper, let's just slap a Band-Aid on this, and who cares,
Yeah,
type
exactly.
of
It's
thing.
just
And I'm the kind of
temporary.
person, yeah, I would rather go from the ground up and fix something.
Right.
So smoking weed for me is, I'll do it recreationally, and I'll do it just to relax at the end of the day after hard training. Like you said, it's almost like it helps me be a little bit more present. When I smoke weed, it
Mhm.
makes me focus more. When I smoke
Mhm.
weed and then get on the mats and do jujitsu, like that's when I'm the most artistic. That's when I'm
Yeah.
extremely dialed in. I'm very visual. I listen more. Everything's just better. I don't say that I
Right.
use it as a crutch because I don't. When I'm in training camp, I don't like to smoke a lot because of my cardio. I do have a
Yeah.
volcano, so I can, smoke out of that if I'd like. Or
Yeah.
personally, I have always liked smoking blunts. And whenever I started fighting, I had to get rid of that.
Yeah, you had to kind of
So,
quit.
yeah, so I love tobacco. I like smoking cigars a lot. But since I became an athlete, especially with fighting because of all the endurance and cardio,
Mhm.
I had to give up tobacco, obviously. But I would say marijuana has definitely helped me through my life. It's prevented me from getting hooked on pills. It's
Right.
prevented
Yeah.
me from drinking alcohol
Mhm.
because I have always loved to drink. And
Mhm.
whenever I drink, obviously, you know, I get even more wild. So to me,
Yes.
it's something that kind of just levels me out, tones me down a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it has many benefits, and I'm glad that it's helped you and you can use it. Um,
Thank you.
is yeah. Is there anything in the future coming up soon for you, MMA wise?
So right now, we're exploring my options. I'm in training camp right now, so I'm
Okay.
in fight shape.
Hmm.
I'm ready to fight today, tomorrow, 2 months, 6 months.
Okay, so you're just waiting for an opponent.
To hear back from a couple different people. I just recently signed with Sucker Punch Entertainment. Ryan
Okay.
Butler is the CEO. He manages Rose Namajunas, Hang Whaley, a lot of good
Nice.
people, Miranda Maverick from Invicta. So they're taking really good care of me, and we definitely are. I'm sorry, everybody keeps calling me. I don't know if the video
No,
keeps stopping,
you're fine. It's
but
good.
right now I'm just training and I'm really catching up because whenever I fought, I was fighting, I was so active. I was fighting like every 2 months, but I never
Mm-hmm.
felt like I had the chance to really sit down and say, hey, like, we got to work on some core things and we got to correct
Right.
this. So I've used the last 6, 7 months to just really marinate my technique. I'm sorry, I keep exiting
No,
the
you're
show because people keep texting me.
okay.
Um, so right now I'm gonna try and do 2 more jiu-jitsu competitions. So I'm trying to get on Fight to Win. Obviously, January 29th is the first all-female event.
Hmm.
And I've been begging Seth and Fight to Win to get me a match, but they haven't found me anybody.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to compete on that, maybe do some high rollers or something like that. And
Right.
then just stay active and just stay focused, have something to kind of work towards as a goal.
But yeah, those big jujitsu events will definitely help you with exposure too. And I hope you find something soon. Um, do you want to shout anybody out before we go?
Sure, I feel bad. I feel like I talked about myself and I didn't ask you anything.
No, that's the point of this is to hear all about you.
Okay. I'd like to shout out my sponsor, CSI Companies. They are a huge part of my journey, and they've supported me from before I even had a fight until now. I'd like to shout out Sucker Punch Entertainment, Combat Night, Mitchell Shamali, Invicta FC, and just all my family and friends and everybody who just lets me be myself. And I'm surrounded by a lot of really supportive and positive people right now. So I just, even you know, you're getting on here and you're so positive and supporting others for just being themselves. So I appreciate
For
that.
sure. Yeah, that's the point, like, behind this show. I'm starting to get guys on here, but I really wanted to promote like women, and especially being in this male dominant sport, I want to expose you guys and help you guys get out there, help people see you and what you're about. So where can we find you on social media, or do you have any fight apparel that we can purchase for the viewers?
So I don't have any fight apparel right now, but my Instagram is Shelby, SHELBY MF. You know what that stands for?
Yeah.
Shelby MFK is my Instagram. Facebook is now ShayK, SHYKAY, because I had to clean up my friends list for everyone. I just need to consolidate. So yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Well, you heard her, Shelby MFK. MFK. Yeah, it's right. It's right here. It's right there on the banner.
Yeah, or Corn Star WMMA.
Okay. All right, Shelby. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on here. I hope you find something soon, and I wish you the best of luck. And hopefully, you can come on here again. Maybe if you find a fight, or after a fight, or whenever, just hit me up.
All right, I'm actually going to be in Orlando tomorrow, so I may see you this week.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, guys. See you next
Have
Thursday.
a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.